Act 3, The Twilight Flood. 20, Chaos Protocol, 30th of the Astral Moon. No. She's here. She's alive. Melly.
Innkeeper, surprise!
Nice to see you're back. Is Fable with you?
No, should they be?
They were looking for you.
They aren't a very good detective then.
My poor tail, she got a little bandage. I'm happy to see you're well, Melly. Everyone was very worried about you.
Why? I'm great at taking care of myself.
You are, but where have you been all this time?
Investigating things, obviously, like the flood. My investigation led me to Morlia. Or more like, they did. Nico, Boy, and Hex, I'm following them to Morlia. They were talking about mysteries and puzzles, and I'm trying to solve a mystery, so I couldn't let the opportunity pass me by.
You're lucky. People usually pay a lot of money to spend time with me.
Why?
Because I'm, like, famous.
But I didn't go there because of you. I was following clues.
Okay. Dude, hit the ego like that.
I stayed outside. My case isn't about a wizard. Not this time.
What's Hex anyway? You know, doing wizard stuff. Like studying? Yeah. It's giving depression, to be honest. He immediately wanted to check out the spells we found. Though he seemed pretty disheartened. How come? Not sure. I guess he didn't find what he was looking for. Maybe because the world's greatest treasure was already traveling with him. What would that be? We're really hitting his ego today, huh? Me, never mind. He told us to keep an eye out for any time magic razzle-dazzle. But we found nothing. At least you managed to get inside and return safely. Yeah. The way there was easy peasy. We got there thanks to Nico pulling off the shape-shifting trick and pretending to be a merchant. Stole some guy's coat and face, and used his reputation to secure us a boat ride to Morlia. Said I wanted to meet with a real estate agent from the Magocracy to buy the island. I told them to pick us up in a week or so. By then, we'd be far gone. What happened once you reached the island? I'm quite intrigued. Before we tell you anything, I'd like a drink. Something that goes down like honey and will make my poetry flow like a river. Nothing easier than that. I got you. Drinks are my specialty. And a little bit here. Thousand winds, I got you. Some honey for those vocal cords. That's what I'm talking about. Can we move on in the story now? You got somewhere to be? Nah, I'm just getting bored. We got to Morlia, an island so small it's basically the tower's wild backyard. As I walked between the crystalline roses, I expected to see secret passages hiding behind every corner. I almost brought you back a rose. Well, why didn't you? I thought you wouldn't like it. I would've. Oh, okay, that's moving on. The tower itself reached so high I thought it might be reaching out to kiss the moon itself.
It was really tilted, at about a 5-degree angle. I measured it with my paws. The bricks were still wet. I'm sure the tsunami shook its foundation.
Would think the waves would have done us a favor and knocked down the door, but nope. That locked door was my first challenge. Iniko's lockpicks broke. Seemed like a skill issue. Broke. Skill issue? Bro, the door ate my lockpicks. Door mimic? Classic first step to securing your establishment.
You talk like you've seen one before.
Have you ever tried to open my door when the inn's closed?
No. If you do,
don't use any lockpicks and take care of your fingertips. So, how did you get inside? We have one, got it. By charming it. Hex forgot his spell book and couldn't get the arcane lock-on-locks spell to work. And obviously, it wouldn't let us in just like that. So I decided to play the mimic a tune. Yeah, that was amazing, bro. Your fancy tunes are the goat. I was nervous. I'd never played in front of a mimic before. I wasn't sure what their taste in music was. I decided to play something emotional, something that would melt its metaphorical heart. A song of woe. Who would have thought it'd literally melt? Yeah. I began the first tune, and the lock started weeping before it reached the chorus. Tears were streaming down its face. And as if they were very hot or made of acid, the door melted away. Afterwards, the lock lay in a puddle of wood, sobbing and thanking me for my performance.
That's not a very steady lock.
I just find it sounds very in touch with its emotions. We stepped over the door's remains and into the tower. It was so much taller and bigger on the inside. Like a TARDIS? Like a pocket dimension. So freaking cool. Except the tower can't really fit in your pocket. Bet. Hex walked ahead. Guy was really distracted. He didn't even listen to my poem about the symbiotic relationship between axe and door. For a long time we didn't encounter anything, just a long hallway. No doors, only a bunch of strange paintings. Plus, most hallways can't go on forever, so eventually we reached a staircase. After what felt like 5.5 minutes. Eternity.
Meanwhile, I was outside investigating the flora and fauna. Everything was very peculiar, like it was all from another world. The colors were different, very blue and almost spectral. And there were a lot of spiderwebs, or yarn, I'm not sure which. Suddenly, the ground shook and almost knocked me off my feet.
Who could have guessed there was pressure plates on those stairs? I wasn't paying attention and was too careless. One wrong step and a pressure plate triggered an explosion and... clonk. The whole staircase began crumbling down into a pit of nothingness. Bit by bit, starting from the bottom. I rushed upwards to safety away from the weird wizard abyss. I stumbled. If it hadn't been for Hex, I'd be mush. He grabbed my hand and pulled me up. But he isn't really the strongest, so we almost tumbled down together instead. I figured I couldn't leave them to fall to their pathetic destiny. So I zoomed down and grabbed Hex by his collar and pulled both him and Boy back up. Thank you for saving us, Nico. No problem, boy. Don't get used to it.
Didn't you expect a trap like that? After all, a great wizard would want to protect their treasure.
I guess we were a little distracted by all the gold hanging from the walls. The staircase ended in a wondrous library that spiraled endlessly higher around the tower inside the walls. We lost text at the bottom in the first row of books. A lot of them were drenched. Didn't seem like the tower was waterproof. There was still primordial water dripping from somewhere above. We couldn't make out the ceiling, tried to reach it though. The second story of the spiral staircase library had 3 paths leading away. Each path ended in a door, and all 3 doors were closed and marked with runes or paintings or rusty old locks. I got sucked into looking at the library's beautiful murals. each of them depicting a different story. One of them was mosaic mirrors. That one was my favorite. Watching Hex look at books was like reading a thriller. Almost every second book was rigged with a trap, but he figured out the pattern quickly. Something Fibonacci, I don't know. Once I was able to pry myself from the murals, I started looking for spell things. I knew Hex was most interested in those, and you know, you help when you can. I didn't. I mostly looked at the small treasures lying around. The wizard had this really cool stuff, with a chunker of gemstone embedded on top. Imagine the damage I could do with that. But I also found something else that was really cool. Here, take a look. A storm in a bottle? It's dope, right? What is this? A weather jar, duh. It shows what the weather is like in another realm. I see. Let me guess. Avalon? I knew you'd get it. I found some spell scrolls. One of them had golden runes on it. Hex liked that one, but he didn't love it, you know? Then nestled between a few red velvet armchairs, I found a glass case. It had a golden frame and a scroll placed inside neatly in the middle. The scroll was floating and all that. I knew Hex was looking for more spells, so I called for him. As soon as I mentioned the oddly floating scroll, he came sprinting upwards, staring at the glass case. He already had another scroll tucked in his coat. Honestly, I was expecting him to carry half the library at that point, but I guess that would have been too heavy for him. Of course, the stupid glass case was also a puzzle. Had no lock, no lid, no nothing, just glass with a gold frame. The scroll itself was glowing a promising blue. I suggested breaking the glass. Hex gave me his finest death stare. So he investigated the puzzle himself. While we were doing boring side quests, I made sure to stuff my pockets. Found a jeweled silver paperweight shaped like a bird that'll make for a great blunt weapon. Hex was too scared we'd destroy the scroll by triggering another contraption, so he suggested we look around in the adjacent rooms. The riddle doors. Hex only had to look at them for a mere second before figuring them out. Apparently all of those murals and runes were referencing a story hidden somewhere in the library. So he made us search for it. It was tricky. We didn't want to trigger the book trap after all. It was like the library knew what would tempt us the most. I kept seeing books about forgotten songs, rare instruments, and romantic poetry. And I saw books about burglary and fraud. Even had to tackle you to the ground one time so you wouldn't blow us all up. Who can resist a good scheme? It was kind of exciting seeing Hex pop up and down the stairs looking for the right books. First password was password, second password was passwords, past the password.
And the third one was passwords past the password's password.
You wish, but no. It was 1, 2, 3, 4. They need, oh gosh, they need better passwords.
Easy to crack, good for you.
The first room was an alchemy lab, full of apparatuses that I'd never seen before. Most of the liquids had gone dry, but Hex insisted on taking whatever was left along with us anyway. Wouldn't let me taste anything though. The nerd was more interested, the study hidden behind the second door. He was really determined to crack all of that old wizard mystery. We helped where we could, but listen, I only have 3 brain cells. The soundscape of the tower was kind of depressing. Silence broke only by the dripping of water and the creaking of old wood. So I sweetened it with a song. It was very easy to get into the flow with that bomb music voyo. Thank you. Hex didn't find the key to the glass case, but he at least found a blueprint showing how it was built. Maybe he can find out how to open it using that. That'd be nice. He was pretty beaten up about everything though. Yeah, couldn't find what he was looking for. Not even in the third room. No. That one was a gym. Didn't know wizard work out. Maybe it was just a distraction from the hidden vault. A hidden vault? Anything good in there? Oh yeah, more than our arms could carry. A bunch of artifacts, most of them probably cursed. Which makes them even cooler. But Innkeeper, you don't even know the funniest part yet. Enlighten me. The whole time, the wizard had a spare key to the tower under the doormat. Oh. The oldest habit of all time. And we didn't even think about checking for it.
I did, but I wanted them to find it for themselves. When they left the tower, I was at the beach with Jade. She'd arrived a while ago to pick us up, and I was teaching Onyx new tricks.
She helped us heave all the loot onto her boat. We couldn't take everything with us, so we decided to head back there again another day.
There's one thing that doesn't make sense in this equation, though.
And that would be?
Iniko, Voy, and Hex traveled alone. Well, except for me, they're stowaway. Yet, I found a fresh pair of footprints on the coast before Jade ever arrived. There was a fifth person on the island. Maybe someone was there just shortly before us.
We didn't even notice, LOL. Just like we didn't notice Melina.
I'm sorry for staying hidden for so long.
Don't apologize, I think it's just proven your skill as a detective. We've got a lot to learn from you.
What a story. I can't wait to share it with Archie.
I'll be on my way now. Gotta check up on Hex and make sure he didn't accidentally take a book mimic home. You coming with, Nico? Sure thing. So long, Innkeeper. Goodbye, Innkeeper. Don't miss me too much. I'll try not to.
Now it's just you and me, Innkeeper.
Indeed. I'm glad you're back.
You're making it sound like I was lost or kidnapped. I was just investigating.
Without telling anyone.
I don't need to tell anyone where I'm going.
People care about you, Melly. They get worried if they don't know where you are.
Oh. I'm not used to that. But I care about people too, like you.
That's good to hear. Nighttime. Melly.
Hi, Aurora.
Hi, Nils. Oh, that name is so outdated. You're back.
I am. Did you miss me?
Did I? I was just very worried. What?
You called me Melly.
What about it?
You've never done that before.
I'm sure I have.
Nope. Not until now, at least.
I'm just glad you're back. Welcome back to my tavern, Nils.
That's a cute one.
Yeah, I got it on my latest quest.
Nils, you made a good choice. I also went on a quest. Well, at first I wanted to find the moon swamps. You know, the mysterious magical swamp that is said to be magically hidden and only appears in foggy but starry nights. I had heard there somewhere, in the moon swamp, near the portal to the Twilight Chasm.
Did you find anything?
No, I did find some weird waymakers, made of bones that seemed to lead somewhere. They had "Do Not Touch" written on them, and the paint even seemed fresh, so it looked like the perfect clue. But then suddenly, there were just gallons of water. Everywhere. Luckily, I got away, and since I was already there, as Fazoa's best detective, it was my duty to discover the flood's origin. Wow, at first, I was more of a stowaway than a detective, but I also couldn't figure out what...
Don't storm off like that ever again, you understand? I was so worried. and no one knew anything about your whereabouts. Now. Oh.
Hi. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have yelled at you like that. It's just, I haven't cared about anyone in so long. And with you and Fable both suddenly gone, I didn't know what to do.
I thought you didn't care. After you went away, even though I asked you to be more careful. I thought maybe you didn't want to be my trusty assistant after all. I went to investigate alone.
I'm sorry for leaving.
It's alright. I'm used to people leaving and not coming back.
I do care, Melly. I'm just kinda new to this whole honesty thing. I'm kinda new to this whole empathy thing.
Yeah, I figured.
If you'd like, I could fix you a drink to help you find your words again. Don't know if I'm up for trading another secret in exchange. It's on me today. You've got enough to worry about. So let me see what I can do for you. Another spoken word. Spoken heart, I mean.
Speak your truth, sir.
Enjoy your magical liquid eloquence. It doesn't taste half bad. This might actually help. So, your quest. Jade said you were stranded in Morlia.
Yep. I followed 3 very suspicious looking fellows and somehow ended up on that island. Why do you always run into wizards and magic when I'm out on adventures? And traps! Magical traps everywhere!
Sounds very dangerous.
A detective's always seeking thrills. I'll make sure I'm more careful, I promise.
It's not about that. I know you know how to take care of yourself. Otherwise, you wouldn't have solved the T-Rex case. But don't keep putting your life at risk in exchange for a quick adventure. Luckily, nothing major happened this time. This all could have ended very differently.
I know.
All I'm saying is, don't disappear again. Please. You're not alone anymore. You don't have to do everything all by yourself.
Like you're one to talk.
I think you've got a point. To be fair, well, you both have a point. Really. Even though they're guilty themselves. Both of you are. But you two also have made a lot of progress already. And I'm glad both of you made it back safely. Heard anything from Fable yet? No, not yet.
What about Carolyn?
She came back after the flood. Currently she's investigating some undead sightings in the Pale Woods.
Do you think she'll be back?
No, but the two of you can wait here for her if you want.
Yes, please. I want to stay until Carolyn gets back.
Alright, I'll keep you company. How about I spice up your wait with another drink? I'll pass.
Oh, I'd like one, please.
Of course. Do you want anything specific?
That whole adventure was pretty exhausting. Maybe something to combat my mental tiredness.
Nothing easier than that. Mental. Brain? Brain? A lot of this. A little more, a little of this. A little more there. The Silent Owl. Let's see if this will wake you up again.
Oh, thank you. This is delicious. I can feel my synapses connecting. You know, now that I've had some time to think about it, I think I figured out why Hex was so bummed about the loot.
Care to share your insight with us?
But of course. He has a young sister, right? Which always struck me as odd. She looks so much older than him. So what if she just ages faster than he does? And he expected to find some very special loot in that wizard tower, but he didn't find it. So what if he was looking for something to extend her life? Like a scroll of immortality.
What a foolish idea.
Hey!
Not you, Hex. Even if it's tempting, those are powers that no one should interfere with.
I agree. What if she turns into a zombie? I've had enough of them.
Definitely.
We should tell him when we see him again. Or maybe we should tell Carolyn when she returns. She seems to be experienced in dealing with the undead. You think it'll be a long time before she gets back?
I don't know. Could be very soon, but it could also take a few more days. You've had a long day. Aren't you tired, Melly?
No. I'm not tired at all.
Let's wait for a little bit longer. Maybe she'll show up and Fable with her.
Sounds good.
Did she fall asleep? Yeah. Maybe I should bring her home and wrap this up for the night. That's a good idea. You should get some rest as well. I'll let you know if I hear anything about Carolyn or Fable. Alright. There's not much for me to do otherwise. Except care for Melly. She needs you. Yeah. I think you might be right. Good night, Nils. You know... forget about it. Are you gonna tell me your name? See ya. Bye.